Alright, so Sony just announced the A7R IV, which I'm actually pretty excited about, but it might not be for the reasons that you think.
Give me everything, yeah. I need everything. I need all of everything, yeah.
See you a little bit, okay? We'll be back in a little bit. Love you. You're a good kid. Sony knows that times are different. They know the times are different. Oh, so hot. It's so hot. 91 degrees. Woo! Video is bigger than ever, and they found themselves a nice little way to approach the market. Separation plays a very big part on how these camera companies plan out specifications for upcoming releases. Man, it's about to pour. Look at them dark ass clouds. They're falling. They're falling. Alright, I guess that cancels that out. I was gonna go have a nice little walk by the lake, have a little chat with you guys, but I guess we gotta do it in the studio. Good 25-minute ride for nothing, that's always fun, huh? I'm sure Kobe will be happy that I'm back, so there's that. Hi, big boy. Hi, big boy. You happy I'm home? You happy I'm home? Huh? Yeah. Alright, so separation is what we're talking about here, and I'll explain. You can't give too much over here in this product, because then people will stop buying that product over there. And we've seen pathetic moves by companies like Canon purposely crippling their product because they don't manage separation very well. Leaving out ridiculous features like dual pixel autofocus in some cameras, no 24 frames per second, crippling their 4K. But Sony, year after year, is slowly taking a different approach at this. What they're doing is they're kind of separating it, and you can see it more and more as years move on and newer models come out. And I think this is the real year where they're really showing that off. Because last year, the A7R III, the A9, the A7 III, they all were pretty similar. Whereas this year, you could tell things are moving in a different direction, and I like it. If you look at the Nikon Z6 and Z7, for example, they're pretty much the same camera almost. The big difference is the megapixel count on the Z7, and that's for photography. But what Sony is doing is they're targeting most features around either photography or video. The A7R IV tells me so much about what the A7S III is probably going to offer. First off, we'll start with something simple. The A7S III, when it drops, is not going to offer any type of high megapixel sensor like the 61 megapixel sensor that we're seeing in the A7R IV. And there lies a perfect example of successful separation within the brand. But that's just the beginning. We still have the same image stabilization that we've had for years in Sony cameras, now making its way to the A7R IV, which further leads me to believe that the A7S III is going to have some really impressive image stabilization. I truly believe this. It sucks for video, but for photography, the image stabilization works great. I mean, no issues. Whenever I took a photo with my A7 III, I never had any shakiness. My buddy Justin, who you've seen on this channel multiple times, he has an A7 III. He handhelds all his photography. No shakiness, no jitteriness, everything is sharp. The image stabilization was more created for photographers than it was for walking and talking and, you know, movement in videos. It's not like the GH5 or something like that. I think Sony is really going to improve the image stabilization on the A7S III. I think that's going to be a big selling point on this. I could be wrong, but I feel pretty safe about that. I think it's a safe bet. On the R4, 4K 30 frames per second is the max resolution and frame rate. You think Sony doesn't know that everybody's pushing for 4K 60p now, and we're getting to the point where we're going to start seeing 4K 120p now? They know, they understand. They're doing this for a reason. They could have easily put 4K 60 in the A7R IV, but they're thinking ahead. They have to prepare and protect themselves down the line. The A7S III is definitely going to have at least 4K 60 frames per second, and I wouldn't be really that surprised if they popped up with 120 frames per second on that ass just to overlap everybody out right now. I doubt anybody that's interested in video is going to be picking up the A7R IV. If they know what they're doing, they shouldn't. No flip screen on the A7R4. But Sony is definitely capable of flip screens. I'm looking at mine right now on the A6400. Sony RX100s have them, so they know about this new flip screen thing going around that's so popular with the young kids. So again, keeping that fence up between photography and videography, I'm pretty positive this is probably my most safest bet that I would make on the A7S III. It's gonna have that flip up screen. It's probably gonna flip up. It seems that that's Sony's thing. I highly doubt they're gonna flip it out to the side, and I like it flipped up. Once you figure out how to work that mic and put it on the side of the camera with a little bracket, I like the screen right in front of the lens. It just, boom, there's a screen, there's a screen. I don't have to look off. The screen is always facing in the same direction as the lens, and I think that we're definitely gonna see that coming to the A7S III. Again, they could have put it in the A7R4, but they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to confuse people. They didn't want to draw the video people in to the A7R4 when they know probably in a few months that A7S III is going to be dropping. To me, it was clear as day. The second I saw the announcement and I saw the specifications, I said this clearly shows me what their plans are for the A7S III. Sony has mentioned 8-bit versus 10-bit in the past, and they had mentioned that they understand anybody can put 10-bit and 4K 60 in a camera. We want to go above and beyond that. So at the very minimum, we are definitely getting that 10-bit also in the A7S III. The A7R4, it's 8-bit. I didn't expect them to put 10-bit. They're not trying to juice up the video side of things on the A7R4. And again, it's for a specific reason. Why would I put 10-bit in the A7R4, which is clearly a photographer's camera, and then ruin the big surprise and the big selling point when we announced the A7S III? Doesn't make much sense. Let's save that for the A7S III. The A7R4 is definitely a spectacular top-of-the-line camera, but it's everything that I'm not looking for in a video camera, and I like that. First off, if Sony gave us everything in one package, the price would be astronomical. So instead of competing with themselves and leaving little features out of specific cameras just to ensure that older cameras keep selling, they're just separating it. And on the A7S III, I feel like we're gonna see a price tag that's closer to the A7R4's price tag, you know, somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000. I really don't think that we see that $2,000 price tag that we saw on the A7 III. I hope I'm wrong on that, but I don't see that happening. Like, I'm a gambler, man. I don't mind hitting the casino up and blowing a few stacks. I feel pretty safe about this bet here. I think I'm gonna be right about most of these predictions. Now, for guys like my main man, David Osler, make sure you are subscribed to David Osler. He has a phenomenal channel. David, I love you, buddy. I just want to kiss that smooth head of yours. I'm going to kiss it. If I ever meet you in person, I'm going to kiss your head. I won't wear chapstick or anything like that. We won't leave no residue on the dome piece. Just make sure you know, I don't want to hit any stubble. Make sure when I land in Smoothville, Australia, population 2, when I go in for the smooch attack. But for guys like David, you know, I guess it's a little unfortunate. You'd much rather have one camera that can do it all. But again, that goes back to the price tag. You take that A7R4, you shove advanced image stabilization into it, you shove 4K 60 or 120 into it, you shove 10-bit into it, all these things accumulate. This makes that price tag go way up. So if you think about it, if you were to buy an all-in-one camera, it would probably be the same price as the A7R4 and probably what the A7S III is going to cost combined. So either way, you're paying for what you're going to get. I mean, a camera with all those features in it, $6,000-$7,000 easy they could charge. That's why they don't do it, because that's not the market. Not a lot of people are going out there and blowing almost 10 stacks on a camera and a couple of lenses. It's just not the normal thing now. But this is just my opinion and input on this release. Let me know what you guys think about the situation in the conversation below. It's the Instagram. If you like this video, please throw your boy a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed, please do so. I'd appreciate it highly. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy your day. Enjoy yourself. Have a good one. Salute.
Resume is a heavyweight, yeah. Put it on my back. Give me everything, yeah. I need everything. I need all of everything, yeah.